Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Saurav, and this is my YouTube channel, Data Science Novice. So, if you're new to my YouTube channel, please do like and subscribe. Your efforts are massively appreciated. So, I'm starting this new playlist where I will be inviting people who have started working as a data scientist or have been working. And the purpose of this playlist to bridge the gap for those who wants to be data scientists, because I have seen oftentimes people asking me questions like how to be a data scientist or what should we study. And to be honest, answer is not as simple as that, because something that might have worked for me may not work for you. So in that case, this playlist is going to help you out, because when you see different people talking about same things, obviously their journey are going to be different. So in that case, you can understand that how they proceed and how you should go. So in this regard, this playlist is going to help you out like this. So our first speaker is Parichita Nandi. She has recently joined Citi Bank. So let's start this interview and see what she has to offer you. So hi Parichita, how are you?
Hi, Saurabh. I'm good. How are you?
So let's start with your journey on the data science field. So the obvious question that is going to be is, what about your journey? Like, I want you to give an introduction to my viewers, and then I want you to explain how did you proceed with your journey of data science.
Right. Firstly, I'm a KB student. So, in 12, I had my son. I'm from science background, from computer science. And from there, I had a fascination for mathematics. And then I came to know about statistics. So, due to that, I took admission in Kirurimal College I complete my graduation there. It was BSc honors, and after that, I did my masters in applied statistics and informatics from IIT Bombay, and now I'm working at Citi.
Your master's was in statistics. Sorry, your graduation was in statistics, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I, since you are my junior, I know this thing. You did masters in statistics from BU as well for 1 year, right?
No, actually, the scenario was when I completed my graduation. It was, I think, in 2018. I was not able to secure a good rank in my JAM, so that's why I got admission in due masters. So I took that opportunity and prepared again and appeared for JAM, and finally I cleared in my second attempt. So I moved to IT.
So if I may ask you, what was your ranking? I guess for IIT Bombay it should be within two digit or single digit, right?
Actually, to get admission via JAM, the maximum rank is need to be within 50. Using JAM statistics, there are mainly two institutes, IIT Bombay and IIT Kanpur. Now, the combined seats, right, if we consider, especially for general, I'm speaking. So, the maximum rank I think for my batch was 51. And in my first attempt, my rank was 81. So, there was not a little bit chance of getting admission anywhere. And in my second attempt, my rank was 44. So, there was a chance of getting admission. IT can't, IT Bombay seats get filled up fastly. Right? It has its name and placements and all. But luckily, that year, many of the toppers, they switched to IT Kanpur. So, luckily, I got IT.
So in short, you are a brilliant student. It's just that the crowd was too much and you didn't get in first attempt. So that's why you tried for the second one.
No. Right. There is a huge competition. There are people, right? You can, in our class also, we see those people with rank 10, with rank 11. They are a higher level of brilliance. That is something that's very far, far from.
Yeah, but yeah, still getting into IIT Bombay is dream for many people. Like I have heard about that IIT JAM. If you don't try IIT Bombay, then it's not worth it. I mean, it's a really nice place as well.
Yeah, it's a very nice place.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
one
I.
more thing, I just missed a point. Right, using JAM, I said there's IIT Kanpur and IIT Bombay, but there is another course in IIT Bombay that is operation research. So one can opt for masters in operation research also. But that rank rate, it goes from 51 onwards, and it is very limited. I think maybe 4 or 5 seats for that.
Yeah, I know this thing as well because I prepared for masters in operational research. So I I didn't did it in DU. Obviously, I didn't know that about IIT Bombay, so I didn't try for it. That's it.
Yeah, many people miss this information and they miss the opportunity, right? So
Yeah, right,
it's
right.
required that people know that.
Okay. So, what is the motivation for this field? Like, why particularly this field? Why you work so hard for this particular field?
See, right from the start, I had a fascination for mathematics. Now, whenever you say, right, you want to pursue something mathematics, generally people around you, they say, right, it is not a practical subject. The only option is to become a teacher or a professor. So from then, I all of a sudden I came to know about statistics. And when, right, during my graduation years only, I came to know, right, I was always trying to find the practical implementation of whatever I'm learning, right? Whatever we do in college and masters, there many of the most of the part is theoretical, but until and unless we right we get the practical application, there is like no value. It didn't have any value for me if I didn't find a practical implementation. So right, while searching, talking to different people, I came to know about this domain and moved towards it.
Yeah, I mean, I have also heard about this thing like pure mathematics is something will not get you there until unless you are very dedicated. Like after masters, you have to go for like PhD. You can't. I mean, there are very few companies that hire mathematics background. They most of them prefer statistics background. Even during the placement season, I saw this thing like either you need to have a practical subject. I mean, pure math is a theoretical one, so it's really kind of tough for people to get job in this field. So it's better to go for the statistics. So my next question to you is, have you done any internship and how did you apply for it?
I had applied for actually, right. I want to focus on mainly two internships. First one is MOSPI, right? There's an internship with the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. This are right here, only master students are eligible. Now there are two grades. There's grade A, that is something they recruit at right at center level at right Delhi. The internship takes place in Delhi, and the second one is at grade B, that it takes place at state level, because see it's of central government, right? So they have their subsidiaries sitting there, and they have their offices there. So now to apply for this internship, one have to, right, they have a form, you can download it from the website and get it filled, right? You have to fill yourself and get it signed by your, right, there's I think head of the department, and all these few signatures are required, and then you can courier or right directly drop it to the office at Delhi, or right if for grade B at the regional head office. And right, this process of selection in this internship is via the CGPA or the CPI of your bachelor's degree, and they may also right they account the first year, the first semester CPI of your masters. The second internship is right, which I actually this internship I was not able to complete. It is a summer internship, and it was something right clashing with my joining of IIT Bombay, and it is of 2 months tenure, and they are right you can't right compromise in that tenure. Right, you have to be present for 2 weeks. Okay, and the second internship that I got right through placement cell of IIT Bombay, and that was with ANZ. I was a modeling insights intern. It was right due to COVID. It was work from home, but yes, that is it.
So how was the learning with these two internships?
The first internship, right, I didn't go for it, so I'm not
Yeah.
aware of, right. So there may be
What about the
better
second
persons
one?
there. For the second one, right, the learning was first it was a corporate experience, first corporate experience. So there are many corporate ethics that one need to know, right, from campus to corporate. That's a whole different scenario. And regarding learning, right, my main project actually was to create a dashboard using our Shine. So right, this art shiny thing, that is something I need to learn. That will extract information, dynamic information about a company, right? All the news articles, and perform text summarization on it, and also to find out the sentiment analysis for that particular organization using the tweets. Right. So regarding learning, obviously, right, I had to learn this text summarization part, then sentiment analysis. Right. In technical, I had to learn R Shiny, though I knew a little bit of R. But R Shiny is right, it's a package, but one need to learn to code there also, right? Code in that one.
Right.
So now coming to the part, your day-to-day responsibility with the existing company. So I guess you are in Citibank, right? So what is your role and responsibility there?
Okay. In Citibank, I'm an analyst. Now, there are many teams, many verticals. I'm with APAC credit card team, right? Actually, APAC credit card rewards and usage team. Right, my work is there related to this credit card rewards and how right people are using it. I'm a new joinee at present, so right, have not got much into the work at present, but well,
Okay, okay. So coming to this part, how often you use Python or SQL or just you said R and Excel like this? How often you use these tools? Like even if you ask your senior or anyone, they will tell you right away, learn Python, learn this thing, learn that thing. So how important it is to learn these tools?
Okay, right. I will say Excel is very much important. So many of the companies may not be using it, but companies like this bank, in fact, Citi only also uses Excel right in many of this processing. Then if we come to SQL, SQL is required, and right, many of the companies they ask so many questions in their interviews, and
Mhm.
SQL is required in many times. Right, when you're handling big data, right, you need to know that. Then R is something that not all the company use, but right, a company like ANC and there are a few others who use R. So right, having an R knowledge, I will not say it's a compulsory. This is something you can learn while you join the organization. So that's not an issue. Then Python, yes, Python again is something right which I've seen right during my right or the placement process that all those tests, all those examinations, Python is something that was there. Python was never missed. So I will say one need to know Python, right? When you it was right, it was helpful for me because I was going for placement from my campus. But now when you're going to off-campus placement, the competition is very high. So right, one need to know Python. And one more thing, there's SAS. Right, many of the organization use SAS too, right? Like Citi, I have heard from seniors and right, have seen people using SAS.
Even in my company, we used to use SAS, but we have moved to PySpark because then we have this big data. So we have to deal with big data. So that's why we moved to SAS sorry, to PySpark, and it was much easier to use PySpark. And one more thing that you talked about Excel. I mean, this tool is something you cannot miss. If you are going into the finance domain, you have to know this tool. Like no one told me about this tool and I struggled a lot. I mean, if someone asks me, what do you need to know? I will straight away say, just go learn Excel. I mean, if you don't know Excel, you will struggle a lot in your work because at the end of the day, you have to summarize everything. So in that case, Excel knowledge is handy. Coming to the next question, does your company have any inbuilt tool? Like in my company, I do have an inbuilt tool for the modeling purpose. So do you have a inbuilt tool that your company specifically made for this task?
Right, in my team, I have not heard of any specific right tool, some inbuilt tool or something. Maybe in some other team, but I'm not aware of it.
Okay, okay. Now my next question to you is, how relevant is your studies with the work you do? I mean, how much stats you use in day-to-day life? I mean, with your work.
Yeah, see, right, data science is a domain now, everyone, right, irrespective of whatever their background is, people are coming in, right? Right, for stats people, few things are a little bit easy now for right people coming from BTech, the coding part is easy for them. So
I'm
one can
also
learn
from
the
the
either
chemistry.
vertical.
I am also from the
Yeah,
chemistry background.
yeah, so right, that's what I said, people from diverse background they come to it and they approach the right to this domain from different right from different dimension, may I say, right? And regarding my studies, see, right, whenever you are in such kind of profile as an analyst or data science, you need to right, need to learn know two things. The knowledge of the domain you are working on and the tools you are using.
Right.
Suppose and here I'm working in finance, right? So here I'm using those technical tools. Yeah, the statistics will be used, right? There will be those basic maybe hypothesis testing will be used somewhere, but the modeling for my team the modeling is not there, but maybe for some other team they may be using modeling, they may be using AI. So that's it, it's kind of a mixture of anything. So right, saying something right, you should know this much or you should know that much, I don't think that is a right good point of thing to say, or I'm a correct person to say that.
So the next question to you is, how did you prepare for the interview? Any book would you like to recommend?
Okay. For interview, right, you need to be thorough with your CV first, right? Whatever you have written in the resume, whatever, right, those algorithms or right, some projects, whatever you have to written, you need to be thorough. Right? That's the first and foremost point. For that, you can use many things. You just can Google or right, watch YouTube video. Now, for this right ML stuff, I followed a book actually. It is ISLR, right? It's a very famous book. Many of
Yeah,
you
yeah,
have
yeah.
read
It's
it.
a Bible.
And
It's a Bible kind of thing for machine learning and all that.
yeah, so I will suggest that this is the must book. Now, if one someone is from stats background, for them I will suggest right have a go through right your FMS Fundamental of Mathematical Statistics by S.
Right,
C.
right.
Gupta. That is also a Bible for
For
statistics.
stats
So
people.
there's yeah for stats people, and then for stats there's another something book by Rohatgi that is also I've heard right it is good, but I didn't got the opportunity to read from it.
No, I guess FMS is it's a good book if you are a beginner. It's a go book for you. Like for me, when I was doing operation research, I didn't know anything. Like stats, something I read in 12th class. After that, I never touched it because I did my bachelor's in chemistry, so I never get a chance to study statistics. But when I read that book, it's a very easy to understand book, and there are so many examples that you will be able to understand each and every part of the statistic. So that was a very helpful book for people like me.
Yeah, it really helps. It's just right. It takes you right. It takes you from the beginner level and right, all right, get you introduced to that domain actually, and in
Right.
a very good level.
So what was the toughest part of the preparation for you?
Uh, right, toughest part for me, right, was actually the pressure, right? The pressure you have before those interviews, that is too much, right? That is something. It's a different level of pressure, and right, I had my academics and I had a POR, so right, for me time management was also an issue. Right? This is generally what happens with on-campus students, but for off-campus people, right, they have time. So all right. The toughest part will be tension only, tension and pressure. Right. I have seen many good people, right, with like, they have so much knowledge, but they are not able to perform in the interview due to like this tension or the pressure they go through. They put themselves through right before the interview.
Right, right. Like time management is one issue. Like what used to happen is today we have an interview, now next day we have an interview, and now day after tomorrow we have. It's like you have interview as and you don't have time for preparing for all those interviews. You need to prepare about the company. You need to know about the company because they ask about these things like what our company do, where we are, and all that thing. So that was the toughest part, I think, for all the people who is going from this what we say campus placement. For them this is one of the toughest part. Okay, so
Yeah,
how many
sure.
interview did you give?
Right. I think it was third company. I got placed in my day 2. So the third company.
Same
And
pinch.
it was the second one trick.
I also got placed into third company.
Ah, nice.
So the interview that you didn't go through, how was the experience and what do you think you lacked?
Okay. Right. Interview on my day 1. Right there. I didn't like anywhere in my CV because that's the first point that they asked. You said you need to be thorough through your CV. But they have asked me some personals and case estimates, and right at that time I was not very prepared with those things, and I like that. I wasn't able to right answer them properly, and they were not happy. I got it from there. And right, that was for the first company. The second company was Citi, right, where I got placed. And in my third company, actually, I wasn't so pressured and so tense. Right, they were asking basic stats question, and I failed to perform. Those are basic stats, right? My first semester graduation questions. And there I failed. That is again because due to this tension and pressure.
So how did you proceed with the current company's interview? Like how many rounds were there and what did they ask you?
See, right. I had gone for it for three interviews, right? For interviews of the three organizations. Generally, the standard procedure is they start from an aptitude test or a technical test. Now, for Citi, as far as I remember, it was kind of an aptitude test only. I don't remember right the third company. Right, the I had right also interviewed for AINS in my day one. So day one, they had some right statistics questions in the aptitude test. Nothing it more. It was not totally aptitude, but it was a mix of those logical questions and statistics. Now they shortlist from there, and then you move to the interview. Now interview generally they have right 1 or 2 rounds of technical interview followed by an HR.
Mhm.
In Citi we had 2 technical and 1 HR. I think for ANZ we had 1 technical round and 1 HR.
Okay, so if I talk about the kind of questions they ask in technical round, or you can say regarding stats or regarding HR, can you brief us through those questions? Like what generally kind of pattern is have you seen?
Right, the general pattern that I have seen right in any round, mainly a technical round of any organization. Firstly, like the first impression you one have to create when you are introducing yourself, because the first question will be introduce yourself. They don't know you. They have this right a small half an hour, 1 hour time. They need to get to know you so that they can select you and find out whether you are up for it or not, or for the profile or not. Then the question were all through the CV, right? Generally, if an organization have 2 technical rounds, the first round they will obviously right walk through your CV, right? Whatever, if you have some internship experience, they will discuss on that project. If you have done some projects, they will discuss on that. And at times, right, it depends on the obviously the person who is taking interview. So they may go in-depth discussion on that, right? Like in ANZ, right, I went an in-depth discussion on a project of mine, but in case of Citi, right, I went an in-depth discussion on my internship project, right? So that is the point you try to impress the interviewer, right? That you have that knowledge and whatever you have done, it is right your work. You can show your hard work there and your and generally this is the way. Now if some organization they have right, they may ask some puzzles or guess estimate, or right in companies right who have second round of technical interview, and second round of technical interview generally ask some general basic questions. The question will not be tough, it will be something you know. Suppose questions like why we use SBM, or some basic stats concept. Stats, not stats, sorry, I'm from stats background, so the questions to me were a little bit from stats background. But maybe people coming from other domain, they will be like we ask a question from their domain, and right ML basic conceptual questions. That is something one need to be crystal clear on. That's
Okay,
my
so
suggestion for the technical round.
mhm. And what about the HR round? Like what how important it is, or what kind of questionings they put forward?
In HR round, it is as important as technical. I have seen many of my good friends, right? They have so much knowledge. They have easily cracked this technical round, but we're not able to crack the HR round. Because in HR round there, you have to show your work ethics, your right values. These are the things you need to right showcase there. Many people say right, you have to show you can work hard, you can work all day and everything. But that is not something right people want. They need to show your dedication, your loyalty, and a little bit of honesty too. You need to showcase yourself as you are, not something like some other person.
Okay, okay, great. So now if I want to ask you, like, give me 5 questions that one must know for the technical part, like for the stats part and for the HR part as well.
See, for
Most commonly
technical
asked
part,
question. Most commonly asked questions.
right, for technical part, again, it totally depends on your CV. Because I have talked to many people who have given those interviews. So different people have different questions asked. It's never a constant for right for a particular organization. So it depends on the panel who is taking an interview, and again your CV. So these are the things that decide. And again, it will be a conceptual questions, but it will be something related to your CV. On suppose you have written something to ML, right? You have a project related to ML, or maybe let's go to something related to the smooth process, right? For this imbalance
Mhm.
classification part, right? So then they will, for my case, they went in deep discussion in small process. So it varies. It right different for different people. For HR round, again, right, introduction is something that and right, introduce yourself in a way that strikes out, maybe not strikes out, or right, something like put a pinch of yourself there. And right, you should say something that is not in your CV. That is the foremost thing. Yes, you can say your name because right, you need to give them a pronunciation of the name if they're getting it wrong or anything. But other things right need to be to the point, and be ready to get cross questions on whatever introduction you are given. They may
So
ask
I mean,
about your passion, or they may ask you to rank yourself, or maybe they will ask you, right, suppose on a day you have 2 or 3 interviews, right, and 2 or 3 different organizations. They will ask you, right, what will you prefer? Do you prefer work culture, or do you prefer more money? So this type of questions are there in HR.
so what did they ask you? I mean, what the Citibank asked you in HR round?
Again, first was the introduction, and from introduction there was a kind of in-depth discussion. Like I said, I want to be an independent person. So there was the point of right, how independent, right, why independent, and right, independent by just mean by monetarily independent. And there were points like what if it was a long discussion actually. I will just it. So right, there was a point where they were like, what you are now, it is because of you, right? But I have hard work is there. But then for me, right, I have done it myself, obviously, but there were people, right, who supported me in the whole process. At least my parents were there always. So, right, I said, right, whenever I am here, I need to mention them because it was their effort too. So this is the something, right? Points like this, it showcase your, right, you can work in a team.
Right, right.
This type of questions were there. Then right, my qualities, right, something I hate about myself or something I love about myself. So this type of questions were there. Likewise, and yes, and one more thing, right, that need to be noted. Whenever right, the panel asks you, right, if you have any question, please ask question. Ask any question you want. If you want to ask about the work culture, ask them. If you want any right different new technology they are using, and ask them. If you have seen something, some news, right, you need to right get to know the company. You have may have read some news, some article on it. Ask about it, but ask questions to them.
Right, right. This is something all the company wants people to ask them. They want them to know. You need to show them that you are curious about the company, that you are willing to work for the company. So that's I guess very important part of the interview. So now last question to you is, what tips and tricks would you give to the viewers? Like how should they prepare, and I mean what kind of what tips and tricks you would like to do?
Okay, for tips and tricks, firstly, right, make your resume to the point, right? Proofread it with multiple peoples. And now within your resumes also, now many people have questions like, should we do online courses or what's right, how weightage it is? I would say online courses are good. Okay, right, it helps you learning, but at times they will be, right, do it from, if you want to right, put it in your CV, do it from some like pronoun platform, but keep a small part of that in your resume, nothing much, right? Maybe a line or two, but mainly focus on your projects. Now, there are many off-campus people, right? People have approached me personally also, right? They say, what should we do in a project? For project, I will suggest, right, do self-projects, right? There's self-paced projects everywhere. Then approach different professors, right? At times, different professors recruit students, right? Those type of new beginners, right? Recruit students for this project. Go for that. Apply to different organization for internship. Like try to gain experience because in CV, right, they will just spend right few seconds in that. So if we see you have some experience or you have done some project, right, that really helps. And that is for the right for the resume part. And for right for the interview and everything, right, whatever right you are going, you are learning ML, you are learning DL, but if you don't have the basic concepts crystal clear, it is of course they're not gonna ask you right what you are doing in DL or what is the future of DL or anything, or what is the future of ML. They will ask you basic question, basic conceptual question. That is something one need to be clear. And one more thing, that few people have issue in their communication. For them, I will suggest to work on. it's okay, right? I don't know, right? Many people say one need to talk in English only. But suppose in an interview, if you're not comfortable, ask that person. If it's fine, you can speak in Hindi or not. Right? Ask that person. It's never harmful to ask anything. But right, at least learn to have a good communication skill. That is very much important.
That is a really important point. Like, I would like to tell you a story. What happened is that, so there was American Express. So one person was not comfortable with English, and so what he said that I'm not comfortable English. I will talk in Hindi. And the moment he got out from the interview, he said, I won't be able to get through. He went to the class and he started attending the lecture. And what happened is that the company asked him specifically for him that bring that boy to the interview again. And he was the only one that got selected, and around he got 17 lakh package. I mean, I don't know what had happened, but that guy just bagged the highest package in our college.
So I hope you enjoyed this video and got some valuable information. So if you have any question or you want to ask something, please write it down in the comment section. I will take some of these questions in the next video. And by the way, if you are new to this channel, please do like and subscribe and press the bell icon for the future updates. So that's all for this video. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, bye, stay safe and wear a mask.